I have just finished the most exhausting 2 weeks of a teacher's life. You know what those weeks are, right? First week back without the students, first week back with the students. It has been an amazing 2 weeks, but I'll be honest with you, I am teacher tired. And if you've been teacher tired, you know what I'm talking about. I have not posted in 2 weeks on YouTube, and I am so sorry for that. I wish I could have shared my journey with you. However, I want to share a tour of my classroom to show you what I have been up to. I'm Hope, and I help teachers like you find inspiration in your classroom by showing you ways to engage your students. Today you're going to see a flexible seating classroom that will give you ideas of how to set that type of classroom up and what it looks like as we get started in the first week of school. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you are passionate about teaching and learning. I love to connect to teachers or parents who are interested in education, and I'd love to hear a comment. What do you think about the classroom that I will show you? Welcome to my classroom. This is where the magic happens. The first thing that you see as you walk into the door is the reading tent. It's one of our favorite places. This is just a few of the activities we did in the first week of school. What are groups like? What's a good friend? How do I behave in the classroom? What do you want your teacher to be? You're going to notice that this room is a very long rectangular room. This room is actually 2 small rooms put together to make one larger classroom. So the size of this room is long and the width is more short. So it's not a square as a regular classroom would be, but it is a rectangle. The center of instruction is our group area with a Promethean board right in front of us. This is where I do all of my mini lessons and read alouds. So I have my teacher chair, I have a bench where we can sit or stand even as we share our work with one another. At the bottom of the Promethean board, I have the hand signals for water, for restroom, for a pencil, for a tissue, even to how to make a comment. This has been a great resource that I have used in my classroom for the last 3 or 4 years. That way we don't have to stop for an extra question about the restroom. I look to see what the student is giving me as a signal, and I know immediately what they need. I got this cart from Target, and I think this has been my favorite purchase for this year. It has 3 areas. The top part has everything that I need for the Promethean board and anchor charts. I have my pointers. I have my favorite anchor chart pens, which are the Sharpie anchor chart pens, and dry erase markers. I also have my little monkey who watches to make sure there is no monkeying around in the classroom. I keep my money for my economy system and all the items I need for morning meetings on the bottom of the cart. I am so sorry that my recycling bin is just sitting out in the open. I wish it were not there, but we do recycle in my classroom, so that's a good thing. You're going to see I have the schedule so the students can see what to anticipate for the day. I have a message board, which is also a new addition for the classroom. Can't wait to use that with a quote of the day. It says, "You're finally here," which refers to the book that I shared the very first day of school. You're finally here. And I had added posters in the classroom, such as the one above my faux window. As I said, I have a classroom that has 2 rooms put together, but I have no windows. So I took some picture frames and put some scrapbook behind it to make a window. This is my command center. It has my computer, of course. It has Germex, stapler, tape, and the ever handy teacher toolbox. I made that a few years ago, and I tell every teacher you need to make yourself a teacher toolbox. This is an extra set of cubbies where I keep all of my read alouds. One's for reading, writing, math read alouds, and some also for growth mindset as well. I brought a table from home that I don't use anymore. It's just a little breakfast nook table with a chair. That's where I have my lesson plan set out. If anybody comes in, they can see what's going on, what needs to happen. There's my happy planner. I have a video that I shared that I'll link about how I plan to use my happy planner, which is already working out great. There's an area that I am working on for when you are out to get papers to students when they are absent for the day. This is another great area for my readers, or really just any flexible seating. And my rules are simple. Be kind, be safe, try your best. Now, if you look above the anchor chart about how to behave in groups, you're going to see how I do flexible seating. So each week I have 5 students that get to select where they want to sit anywhere in the classroom. And once they make that selection, I move the other students around accordingly. I've done flexible seating for about 5 years, and I do feel like I need to have a little bit of control about where they sit. So we take turns deciding where I want to sit in a free spot. They can sit here in the wobble stools. They can sit on the stability balls. Right above that table, I have a map that I had in my nursery when my children were small, and I finally got to bring it to school. My children have outgrown the map, and I enjoy it here as we're part, first time this year, of a postcard group. And we'll send out postcards, but we will get postcards from every state this year. This is another desk that I've used as a Chromebook station. I put a couple of office chairs that students can sit at this desk and just swivel slowly and gently back and forth as an alternative seating. Right beside that, there is a wagon in the corner. You'll see above the desk as well, I have birthday hat, and I have my birthday treats and the clock, and also kind of the clocks to show when we go to lunch and recess, related arts. But this is the wagon I was telling you about. It's something that I brought from home and my children have outgrown. I put a pillow in it. It's great for buddy reading. It's also great for someone that needs just to take a time out and cool down, since it's right there in a corner of a room where no one can watch them. I have had to add greenery to my classroom in locations, again, just to bring the outside in. I can never see the sunshine or anything outside, so I have to have that distraction for myself to feel like I've got a little bit of nature coming into my room. This whole area here is all about writing. It's the editor's checklist, and then I have anchor charts, and you're also going to see I have my word wall list there as well, beside the circular table with more alternative seating. But the word wall list, I post all the words at the beginning, and we highlight the ones that we use each week for 5 days. But I like to have the word wall list there so that we can access them during writing workshop, because all of those words are words that they need from the very beginning of school, and they've already started using the word wall at the very beginning of the first day of school. I have taken that same word wall list and made it into a personal copy for each student, and they've placed it in their 10-pocket folder that we use to keep organized. It's called a travel guide, goes along with our theme, and it goes back and forth to home. So you'll see it has a communication pocket, papers so parents know what to keep at home and what to keep in the folder We keep our homework in there. They keep their morning work in the pocket. I have a pocket that they can keep pre-writes and drafts and what they're working on for their final published pieces in writing workshop. There's a math pocket. There's a reading pocket for when we do reading logs. Unit study is for science and social studies. There's a place for their bank, their classroom cash, and of course their weekly newsletter goes on the back. It has their homework for the week. It has spelling words for the week. They can keep everything in one place. These are Adirondack chairs that I purchased with small tables probably about 3 years ago. Another great way to use flexible seating in the classroom. The poetry area, that's where that divider is. It was very ugly and brown, so I covered it with sky butcher paper. It makes me happy to feel like I'm bringing a little bit of outdoors inside. I created a little faux tree, and it's our poetry. This area with a small rectangular table is actually my guided reading area, or my small group area. This little table sitting at the floor has stability cushions, so students can sit on the floor with the stability cushions. And I want to point out that all of this flexible seating has been a work in progress for the last 5 years. This did not happen overnight. It's a process of buying things from year to year, writing donors choose grants, and year by year I've just added different seating options for my students. Inside the closet behind my small group table, I also have stools and I have camping chairs that we pull out if students would like to sit in any of those seats as well. I really like the option of having that small rectangular table instead of a horseshoe table. It just doesn't take as much space. I would probably say that with my classroom here, I am somewhat minimalistic. I don't like to have a lot of bulletin boards up. I do put a lot of anchor charts up that we can use through the year. Anything that's in the classroom that we do, that the students do, I like to have that work up instead of just a lot of different bulletin boards. I have a writing bulletin board, a reading bulletin board, and just basic bulletin boards that we need to use on a regular basis. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my classroom. If you have a question or a comment about what you saw, or you want a little more information that perhaps I can add an additional video about classroom setup, please leave that question or comment in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I will be sharing weekly things that may be happening in the classroom that I think would be beneficial to teachers or even perhaps parents as we go through our year. In the meantime, I hope that you've enjoyed a good cupful of hope.